Hello, 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 and welcome to Ready Bet Action. I am your host tonight, Mike Smith, here with Stefan Leko. Steph, it's a Tuesday night. How you feeling, man?
Dude, I'm so excited. We had the EFL championship. So like Wrexham just got promoted up to the championship. So they had match day one last week. They started a week before the Prem. So it kind of was like a little teaser for the upcoming weekend. So excited for match day one. Premier League is starting up. La Liga is starting up. The French League is starting up. The other ones are starting in like a week or two. But like we're here. It's happening. Soccer is back.
It's crazy. I feel like we were doing soccer shows like a month ago, and then it's back. And then you think about it, and it's like even the NHL preseason is 5 weeks away right now.
Well, yeah, and we had the Club World Cup,
Yeah.
so it extended so long, and then we even had some, I think, Gold Cup plays at one point. But
Yep.
Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, all this stuff. This is where we really shine. I think this is the stuff that we know the most about.
I mean, it's the stuff that you might know the most about. The other of us guys are over here talking about American football, baby.
Well,
Oh, man.
there's room for all of it, you know.
Speaking of American football, I've got a take. What's your quick take on the whole John Mateer thing going on right now?
Oh, so he allegedly sports bet, and they found it on like one of his like Venmo transactions, like it was like sports betting bro or something like that.
No, so it's from his actual John Mateer Venmo account.
Yeah,
It,
but didn't it say like sports betting
yeah, that was
in
the
like
comment on
the
the transaction. It was like
yeah.
sports betting and then the name of the game.
I think it's all pretty stupid that we have these huge betting apps like DraftKings or whatnot that sponsor the NFL, that sponsor Red Zone. And then we're going to come in here and tell players not to bet. Like, it's just ridiculous. I think it matters what they're betting on. And I think that's why we need transparency as opposed to people doing it and hiding behind it. Like, I want to know what your bet is. If John Mateer is betting on basketball, who the hell cares? If he's betting on a different football game, like, I don't know. I think it's ridiculous.
I agree, and
but I'm
especially
also we're also running a betting show here, so I imagine our perspectives lean a certain way.
It's so wild to me because like it happened in 2022, and
Right.
like some stupid Texas fan who wants Oklahoma to tank found this dude's Venmo transaction and scrolled back 3-4 years to find something.
Couple points here. This is why you always do private on your Venmo transactions. First, who fucking cares why you're sending your boy pizza money? Like, just do it private. No one cares. Stop it. Second, I love Texas fans for doing this. I mean, this is what college football is all about. Like, go dig, baby. Go dig. Let's find some dirt. Let's do it. Like, kudos.
I haven't seen it confirmed it's a Texas fan, but I feel like it has to be. Like, I don't know who else is that bored. But
no, I get it.
Anyways, we're here to talk about the other football. Premier League starts this week, runs through May. It's a different league as it is every year to some regards because we have promotion and relegation. Leeds United, Burnley, and Sunderland have been promoted. Relegation, we were looking at Leicester City, Ipswich Town, and Southampton down to the EFL Championship. Any future plays that you like that we may not get too deep into? You know, you've got Liverpool as favorites so far right now at plus 175. Arsenal finished runner-up last year. Haven't won it since 2004, sitting at plus 240. And then Man City finished third last year, still sitting at third in the lineup at plus 333. De Bruyne's gone, end of an era there. Like, what any thoughts on future plays for the Premier League?
I mean, I like Liverpool to win it, and I like it at plus 175. It's not an official show bet just because I think there's so many other ways to bet. I don't know. I might still do it. I'm on the fence. It's not an official play. But I think outside of Liverpool, and the reason I like Liverpool is they're obviously the defending champs, and they brought in more firepower. They brought in Florian Wirtz from Bayern. They bring in Leverkusen. They bring in Jeremy Frimpong. They bring in Ekitike. They have completely like re-euthanize this team. That's the wrong word to use. Euthanize? No, that's not what I'm trying to say. They have infused young talent into this team. So as Salah gets older, and he might still have 2 years left, he is defying the odds here. and he happens to be like the number 2 or 3 odds-on favorite for top goal scorer, Mo Salah. But you've got Cody Gakpo, you've got a new striker, you've got a new winger, you've got a new attacking. Like they're just stacked everywhere. So I really like Liverpool to win it. Outside of that, Man City, yeah, they lose De Bruyne. Rodri's going to start the season out injured. Grealish, I mean, he hasn't been starting for them for a while, but he just went to Everton. Meanwhile, they bring in a guy like Tiani Reinders, who's going to be able to control that midfield and I think be a very positive influence. I don't think Phil Foden is what he was last year. That was a very down year for him. I still think he's going to bounce back. So Erling Haaland still exists. He's like minus 300 to be the top goal scorer. So Man City's going to be tough. Chelsea just won the FIFA Club World Cup. They look really good. They're about to sign Xavi Simons and bring him in. They brought in some really good talent. Arsenal just signed Gyökeres. They brought in Zubamendi. They're going to be really tough again. Newcastle, we're not sure about because this whole Isak thing is going on. But I could see any of those teams battle Liverpool to the very end. So I have no idea what that next grouping looks like. And there's not a whole lot of value to bet them like top 4 because, it's all minus something. Right. So I'm avoiding all of those. The one future play that I really do like, and I only have one, is I just mentioned Arsenal finally went out and bought themselves a striker, something that Arsenal fans, myself included, have been wanting for a few years now. Kai Havertz, I think, is very underrated. I think he's been very good for the squad, but they've really been wanting and needing a real number 9. And they went out and got Victor Gyökeres, who has just broken records like Sporting Lisbon for like goals in a season. He is incredible. And he comes over. He's from Sweden, but played in Portugal. He used to play for Brighton. So he's back in the Premier League and he has something to prove. And if you think about how Arsenal has been successful this last few years, they're not relying on one specific score. You've got Saka getting in goals. You've got Havertz getting goals. Martinelli, Trossard. It's a group of even like their defenders on corners. Like it's a group of players. It really is a team effort. So I'm going to take Victor Gyökeres, who is now their talisman. He's going to be the one they play through. I'm going to take him as the top goal scorer for Arsenal, just for their team. And I get that at minus 150. And I like this because even if he misses some time from injury, because the scoring is so spread out on this team, I fully expect that it will not be like all of a sudden Havertz is getting a bunch of goals and threatening Gyökeres. I think it's going to still be, Saka, Odegaard, all these other players. So I really like this one at minus 150. I put a couple units on it because I feel pretty confident. So played that one earlier this morning, minus 150 at DraftKings. Some of the other places, it's more like minus 190. So do shop around.
No, I love that take. My only problem playing futures in the Premier League is kind of Eric's take for futures overall is you've got to wait until freaking the end of May to win your money on this. And that's just a long haul. If I were to play any futures, I'd probably go Man City to win it at plus 333. Spent a lot of money in the offseason. Plus 333 is a nice little juicy thing to just kind of throw a dart at. And you look at how many times they've won it since like 2017. They've got to be a little salty after finishing 3rd last year. I like a hot start here, but who knows, man? It seems like it's going to be a fun year.
Yeah, I think them bringing in Cunha, especially, and Reinders, who I mentioned earlier, are really going to make that midfield a lot more like what we were used to seeing a couple years ago. I fully expect them to, like I said before, like they could be right up there with Liverpool. I don't see a huge difference between some of these teams. The only thing with City is Rodri, his injury is a bit worse than they expected. Yeah. He might miss quite a bit of the season to start. So that's disappointing. Not for me because I hate City, but for others, it's disappointing.
You're like, I actually kind of like that. That's great, man. Well, let's move over to your plays for
let's
this
stay with
weekend.
City.
Cool.
Let's stay with City. They traveled. No, actually, they're at home. No, wait a second. I have to look at my notes now.
They travel to Wolves.
Okay, so Man City goes to Wolverhampton. I am going to take Man City on the money line and to score over 1.5 goals. So Man City needs to put 2 or more in and win. We get this at minus 135. So those players I've mentioned, Cunha and Aït-Nouri, they both come from Wolves. So they stole their best 2 players, and now they're going to use them to beat you. It's really unfair because it's not like Wolves had the money to go out and replace all these players. So I think it's going to be a pretty exciting game. If you are backing Man City here, I could see them putting in quite a few, but I didn't want to play it on the spread just in case they do let in a few. It is early; things can get crazy. So I'm just going to take Man City on the money line and over 1.5 goals as my first play.
Yeah, I love it. Man City's won 4 of their last 5 matches against Wolves, and this is covered in 3 of the last 5. We both like Man City a lot more than we did last year, and Wolves almost got relegated last year. So this makes a lot of sense, especially with Wolves losing 2 of their better players there. So cool. What else you got for us?
All right. I am going to go to another like rival of Arsenal's. I'm going to go to Chelsea. Chelsea stay in London, but they're playing at Crystal Palace. I really believe in Chelsea to start this year. I think they're going to come out hot. I don't know how long it will last. We'll see how long that depth plays into it. They're coming off the FIFA Club World Cup championship, beating PSG in like resounding fashion, like 4-0, I believe, 3-0, something crazy. I was blown away. Anyway, they have a good team. Cole Palmer leads the line. João Pedro comes in. Liam Delap comes in. I think they're going to be really, really strong yet again. Hato is there. He's a youngster. He was the youngest ever captain of Ajax at age 17. He's already played for the Dutch national team at age 19 and looks to be a prominent feature as the Netherlands push for a World Cup. So he's coming in to add a lot of depth there too. I think he'll start at times. Crystal Palace is coming off the FA Community Shield victory against Liverpool after the penalties. So they're kind of riding a little bit high right now and maybe are not quite in the mindset for this tough test against Chelsea. So I kind of like the hangover effect here. And Chelsea, I just think is going to be really, really strong this year. I expect them to be right at the top. I think Champions League or bust for Chelsea, and I think it starts on match day 1. So we're going to take them to win and again score 2 or more goals, and we get that at -115. I really like that value there.
Yeah, that's value seems great. Chelsea's been like historically middle of the table, or it's not Chelsea, Palace, like over the last like 10, 15 years. So I'm with you. I do think Chelsea makes a big push here, and so
there's also a lot of rumors about Eze leaving either for Arsenal or for Chelsea. Like he's on the transfer rumor block quite a bit. That's distracting for him too.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I love it. Your next Premier League play, I think, is my favorite that you have, and I am going to tell you on this. So,
why don't you talk about it? Why don't you talk about why you like it so much?
Because Liverpool is really fucking good. Period.
Okay. So the bet is Liverpool money line and over 2.5 total goals. So the difference between this one is it's not the team goals, it's the total goals. So like Liverpool could win 2-1 and this bet hits. So Liverpool traveling to Bournemouth, and we're liking money line for Liverpool and over 2.5 total goals. So you like this because they're really fucking good, and I agree. what else do you like about it?
Well, Bournemouth lost one of their best defenders last year, and Dean Huijsen, however you say his last name.
Yeah, I hate that man. So he's Dutch, but he chose because of dual nationality to play for Spain. So he now starts for Spain, but he's Dutch. So, but it's like the opposite of Xavi Simons. So I can't get that upset. Anyway, yeah, he's gone now.
They lost him. They lost Kirkes. They lost Zarbin. Yeah, I like just a lot of their better defenders are gone, and now you're playing this powerhouse of Liverpool. Their last 3 matches combined, Liverpool has outscored them 9-0, and they've won their last 5 against them. So like everything's in Liverpool's favor. It's everything about this is Liverpool's to lose. I don't know if Bournemouth has what it's going to take to actually show up and really win the match themselves. So I'm going to put the odds on Liverpool's favor and just keep riding that powerhouse there.
Yeah. So I'm pretty confident in the Liverpool side of things, but that's not saying much because that's like juiced to -322. So that's why we're adding the goals to it. My fear is like this is how we lose this bet is Liverpool just gave up quite a few to Crystal Palace, and I could see it really being an area of contention. Kirkes was bombing down the field. So this is a nice little revenge match for him, by the way, because now he's playing for Liverpool. Yeah. He was just bombing down the field, and they only were playing with a 3-3 back line anyway. So all of a sudden now you've got Kirkes running down the field, and there's only Van Dijk who's really lost a step. and so they were able to get beat a couple times. So my worry is that Bournemouth is able to maybe not score, but they change their Liverpool changes their focus to kind of shut them down and end up winning 2-0. Like
That's fair. That's
Liverpool
fair.
wins 2-0 and we lose this bet. But I think Bournemouth gets one. And so ultimately I think 2-1, 3-1, something like this is how this one ends, because I think Liverpool is going to come out fireworks, baby, fireworks.
You think Bournemouth is going to score against Liverpool for the first time in 4 years? Or 3 years, or whatever, however long it's
Man,
been?
here's the thing: if you think not, then I think then you should just play like Liverpool -1.5. That's probably, I didn't look at the juice on that one. I don't know. I think
I'm still gonna play it because I think there's a world where Liverpool wins 3-4-0 too.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't think
Also,
that's not on the table either.
yeah, Bournemouth is projected. I mean, they've been punching above their weight for a few years now, but you were talking about like some of the preseason odds. Bournemouth is kind of projected pretty low, like closer to relegation odds, than any side of Europe, like European football. So they're not expected to be very good this year.
Yeah, makes sense, man. Well, you've got one more for La Liga, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna do a cross. This is gonna be a European parlay. We're gonna go hit up France and Spain with this one. So you talked about promotion relegation earlier in the Prem. One of the teams that promoted in Spain is Elche, I think is how you say it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't watch second league Spanish soccer much. So they're brand new. This is their first game, and they're going against Real Betis, who is feisty. They always punch, in the upper quartile of La Liga, usually fighting for European football. They did lose some of their key players from last year, but I still think they are going to easily get the double chance, which just means a win or a draw. That's that double. So basically, you're betting them not to lose. So if you're thinking about spread, this would be like Real Betis plus 0.5. You could bet that, but for some reason, it's worse juice than the double chance. So there's a little tip for you. Always go double chance. We're going to parlay that with PSG, who are the reigning UEFA Europa League Champions League champions. Whatever I'm trying to say, you know what I'm trying to say.
Words are
They
hard.
won France. They won the Champions League. They are the best team in Europe, arguably. They play against Nantes, who kind of finished mid-table, mid to below mid-table last year. Not a very strong squad. We're just going to take PSG on the money line, parlayed with Real Betis on that double chance. And we get that at -123, which I think is screaming value.
That's fair. And the pronunciation you were looking for is Elch, by the way.
Elch. Okay.
Elch. Yeah.
Well, thank you, because hey, we might be talking about them again in the future. I
I'm
have a
just
feeling
saying,
I'm going to
like,
be picking on them,
we really love beating on the bottom feeders,
Yeah.
especially in soccer. So, yeah, I see
Yeah.
them coming up in the future here. So,
Elch.
well, there you have it. Those are your plays for this weekend. Before we get to the rundown, don't forget to go follow us on all of the socials, YouTube. Give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe. Tell us why we screwed up pronunciations, and it'll be great. Staph, why don't you go ahead and run it down and give us your plays for the weekend?
Yep. So I'm going to start with the futures play. We're going to take Victor Gyökeres, their new striker, to be Arsenal's top goal scorer. Get that at -150. Shop around. That number is pretty steep elsewhere. Heading to the Premier League, we're going to take Liverpool on the money line and over 2.5 total goals against Bournemouth. We're going to take Chelsea on the money line and over 1.5 team goals versus Crystal Palace. We're going to take Man City on the money line and over 1.5 team goals versus Wolves. And finally, in our European special, we're going to go Real Betis on the double chance, parlayed with PSG on the money line, and you get that at -123.
Well, there you have it. That's how we're kicking off our soccer season this year. It's going to be a fun weekend. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. We've got some more college football preview coming down the line. We just posted our SEC preview show. If you missed that, check it out. We've got NFL coming. It is that time of year where sports are freaking excited again. And we're going to keep it rolling over here. So give us a check, and we will check you next time.
All right. There it is. Nailed it.